Hi there. So we're sitting with Willie Franklin, and he is the founder of the Lost Vets. And this is really something that hits home to me. My son is in the Coast Guard, and I'm very grateful for anyone who serves or has served in the military. So I really appreciate what Willie does, and he's going to tell us all about it.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on today. I'm Willie Franklin. I'm Executive Director of the Lost Vets Rescue. We're an immediate response rescue organization. We do what nobody else does. We get a call at 3 o'clock in the morning that a vet is in trouble somewhere or on the streets or homeless or whatever. We get up and go and find him and get him somewhere safe and start working on long-term housing and things like that. We've helped over 100 vets in the last 5 years be able to reestablish themselves and other things too, medications and transportation. Of course, housing is the biggest issue. Our long-term goal is to have a tiny home honor village for veterans.
Nice.
To be able to come to your son when he comes out, have somewhere to land and kind of take a deep breath and decide what they want to do instead of be thrown out here. This whole world's fast and it's hard and it'll eat you alive, and when you've been accustomed to having things provided for you, you're not you don't know finances, you know how to balance checkbooks and things like this, and it's just overwhelming to a veteran. And we found that the cycle seems to be that a veteran gets out and he gets a check. When he's released, he gets a separation check or whatever they call it. He ends up buying him a little vehicle, gets him an apartment, and furnishes it, and gets a job, and something just happens. Maybe somebody that's a manager at a fast food place that might not have been where he's been and might be a lot younger, gets mad and goes off on him, and then he goes off, and then he loses his job. He don't have a good reference now. He's hard to find a job, and he ends up losing his apartment, sleeping in his truck, and then ends up selling his truck and ends up with a needle in his arm.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to break that cycle. If we can have this tiny home village with 14 to 16 tiny homes, a community center with a rec room and online workstations, a kitchen and laundromat and things like that, the camaraderie of these veterans being in one place like that without any pressure on them for rent or you know, their power bills and things like that, then they can get their bearings on where they want to go and what they want to do. And our goal is to help them achieve that end, you know. To if they want to go back to school, we get them in with the schools and the counselors and people who can help them get into college or whatever it may be. They may just want to be a diesel mechanic, or they may just want to, you know, be a fry cook or a chef or whatever their dream is. We want to help them achieve that dream. And when that veteran has worked and saved enough money to and he's comfortable enough to be on his own, then he'll transition out of the program, and someone else, another veteran, will take that house and go into the program. It's kind of like we want to do a model that we can cookie cut and duplicate all over Tennessee. And if every county had one of these villages, we would end homelessness among veterans, and it wouldn't take long. And it's not a real major task. It's just funding.
Yeah.
Funding.
Sure.
We can find the people who will help us, you know, as far as people who have excavation companies and contractors who will build houses and things like this. But getting the materials and, you know, the permits and the sewage systems and everything else in is what costs money. And we're really looking for support. We're 501c3. We're you say bona fide now. We went 5 years under the umbrella of our local church, and we had a limit on how much money we could raise, how much money we could bring in a year, or it would change the church's charter, and they'd have to go back and do a lot of stuff with IRS and the Secretary of State. So we made it through that, and we've helped a lot of people. And we've got videos of us going in the woods and going on mountains, and we've been shot at. You called names, but most everybody that's done that has come through our program eventually. So
That's great. Well, we will do our best to get the word out about your organization. I think it's beyond honorable what you're doing for these vets. It's
Well,
really amazing.
I'm not a vet. I was a tour musician, and but my best friend was, and I couldn't get him any help, and he died on me, and a $15 Lasix prescription would have saved his life. And that's what sent me down the road. I never thought I'd be doing this. You know, I'm a guitar picker and singer, so that's what I always done. And
It's a calling. It really
it
is.
definitely was, and it wasn't one I answered immediately. You can believe that. I ran from it, and the Lord kept telling me, run all you want, but I'm going to put you in a corner, and you're going to end up doing it. So I told my wife one morning before she left on the bus, I said, me and the Lord's been talking. She said, no, the Lord's been talking, you've been running. So let's get busy, and we did. And we have a great group of people who help us, volunteers, and nobody in this organization draws a check. We all do it for the love of our veterans.
That's really great.
So I still play music, like you said, in the gym right now. I still play music to make my living. And I've been blessed with that, to be able to do that at 58-year-old, still be able to do it. And in a nutshell, we're here for the veterans. If you are a veteran, if you know someone who needs some help, please pick up the phone and call us. You can go online to thelostvets.com and see what we do, and send us or my personal cell phone is on that website, so call me if you need me.
That's wonderful. And I can tell you, I have a full-time job, Monday through Friday, but I would be happy to volunteer cooking, because
Absolutely.
I am a great cook.
I heard about that.
Yeah, so I would be happy to volunteer to cook for the vets. That would warm my heart to be able to do that.
We do a Thanksgiving dinner for our veterans, and what we want to start doing is having like a luncheon once a month that our veterans can come to and meet other veterans and find resources. You know, we'll have resource officers there and things like that. But we need to cook.
Yeah, see? Yeah, so I'd be happy to volunteer, yeah,
Absolutely,
for sure.
that'd be great.
Yeah, that would. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us today.
Well, I appreciate
And we're
you.
going to see what this chili cook-off is about.
Oh, it's going to be fabulous.
I'm sure.
There's chicken chili, there might be some possum chili, I don't know.
All right, well, we're going to check it out. Thank you so much again, Willie, for talking to us.
Thank you.